2026 Victorian Short Course Championships. It's for our open athletes here tonight, and we've had an exciting morning of heat. I've got Tegan and Sam with me. What were your highlights from this morning? What are you looking forward to tonight?
I'm definitely looking forward to watching Daniel Cave take out some of those breaststroke races tonight, seeing if he can prove them from this morning's heat all the way through to finals tonight.
I'm looking forward to the men's 100 fly, 100 free and the women's 200 fly, so a bit of a mixed bag. I think that's going to be really close, and I would like to see Mia Yao go under 210 if she could.
And I'm looking forward to seeing Alana Torrance in the pool. She's got a massive program here this weekend. So it's going to be really hot in the pool for finals here tonight. We can't wait. We look forward to seeing all the action and all the medals that are going to be raining on down for our athletes. Welcome to Session 2 of the 2025-26 UNCLOUD Victorian Open Short Course Championships. We now welcome our technical officials to the pool deck. Your referees for this session are, for the male events, Jackie Madden. And for the female events, we have Greg Langford. The starters are Harold Gustav for the male events and Tom Roscoe for the female events. And the technical director is Heather O'Connor for tonight.
Oh, that's done. That went through. Roll one.
And we are underway now with event 1, the mixed 200 metre medley relay for our para-able-bod athletes. All teams now in the water. We do have that staggered start for this race. Swimming out of lane 3, we have Ivanhoe Swim. Lane 4, Waterbull, and lane 5, Japan.
Waterbull leading us through here in that first 50 out of 49. Ivanhoe coming here to touch in second. Finishing strong here at this first 50 was Japan.
Our medley relay is that backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, freestyle order. A little bit different to our individual events. We do expect to see maybe some swaps and changes of our leaders throughout this race, depending on the strengths within each individual team. We also have that mixture of both our para and able-bod athletes, as well as male and female swimmers in the water.
It's a great way to start our evening, isn't it? Having a relay, get the team up and about, see some good changeovers, throw down some speed early on, get the night underway. So Warrnambool's still well out in front here.
They've certainly got a nice lead at this midway point in the relay. They'll be looking to swap over to their freestyle swimmer and hope that they can hang on. The team in lane 3 from Ivanhoe Swim still sitting in that second place spot, with Japan in lane 5 in third.
And now into this freestyle leg here, all the swimmers are in the water, and Warrnambool turning onto this final lap, and they've just increased this lead as they've gone, but Ivanhoe are going to finish this one pretty strong over there in lane 3 as well.
Warrnambool, they set themselves up nicely coming into this freestyle with a really solid lead, but both teams chasing down this final 25. I don't think they're going to quite have enough to catch that team from Warrnambool in lane 4. They'll take out event 1.
Alrighty, event 2 underway here, which is the mixed 4x50 freestyle relay. This is the epitome of splash and dash, isn't it, Kalia?
It certainly is, and what an incredibly fun race this one is as well, to kick away this evening with some relay swims. These mixed teams, we do see a lot of changes in leader, so be prepared for this race to swap a lot throughout these next 3 timed finals.
Yeah, it's going to sound like an old coach here, but how important a changeover is in a 4x50 relay?
I think anytime we talk about short course within this season, the skills are what differentiates those top swimmers from the rest. And relays and long course, very important on the changeovers, but short course even more so. You've got the changeover as well as the turn, and the importance of finishing that lap so strong.
100%. And we can see so far it is CGGS over there in lane 3, well out in front here, as we're into our third leg of this relay of Heat 1. There's a good break out there from Lilydale.
These are time finals, so keep in mind that we do have 2 further heats to go, and those fastest entry times, top 10 teams, will be swimming out of that third heat.
And that is a solid lead now for CGGS there in lane 3. Can anyone catch them in this last 50? It's a good change over there from lanes 4 and 5. Lilydale had a great breakout. Warrnambool not going away either.
So all teams in the pool now trying to catch up to CGGS over in lane 3. They're just holding them off, but it's a quick return from the Lilydale swim team in lane 5. It will be close on to the finish, but coming away with the win there, CGGS in a time of 1:49.28.
And heat 2 of 3 here underway. It looks like it's a great start there in lane 5 from CGGS again. Back-to-back heats, they're going for it.
Yeah, their B team took it out so strong, and this is their A team in the water now. They've fired down that first 25 with the team in lane 4 from Furbank sitting along their hip, but it is a good early lead from lane 5.
Well, it was a great changeover from Furbank. You can see that underwater in that breakout there. Got all the way out to 15 past that wave. And you'll see these swimmers here off this turn really trying to break out past that wave that comes into the wall.
Yeah, really solid on that underwater. As was the team in lane 6 from MLC. They pushed their way up into second. So halfway through, Furbank in first, MLC second, and Propulsion in third.
MLC really starting to make a move here in this third 50. They've caught up and they're alongside Furbank now. Also on the far side of Furbank, you've also got Propulsion and Yarra Plenty.
So come into changeover now for our final swimmers. Furbank maintains that lead over MLC, and Yarra Plenty push themselves up into third. Nothing changed on the underwater, so it's going to be a race to the finish now.
And on this last turn now, Furbank will be hard to catch from here. It's a good turn. Yarra Plenty have just pushed themselves up into second place here, finishing very strong, but also finishing strong as CGGS again. But they're going to leave it a little bit too late, and Furbank take it out in a 1:42.5.
Away we go now with our third and final time final 4x50 mixed freestyle relay. Super speedy start in lane 3 by Nunawading. 10.9 feet to the wall there.
Yeah, how about the splash? You can barely see across the pool here, and it's going to be Nunawading leading us through in the first 50, 22.4. That is out fast.
Coming away through in second was the team in lane 5 from Melbourne, also splitting that 22.99 with Caulfield in third, and those middle teams already with a little bit of a lead on the rest of the field here.
Not much separating these three teams. They're going to be the three to watch here. All tend to be the 137, so let's see what we have instead for the second half of this race.
Halfway point, Nunawading still out in front, 44.58 onto the changeover. Caulfield pushed their way up into second with Melbourne in third.
And look, it appears Nunawading's just got a bit of a lead now by about 0.3 of a second. It was a really good turn there. You can see the breakout past the 10-metre mark, well past that wash.
As we said, those skills ever so important. Let's see what they can do now as we come into our final swimmers. And there was a quick changeover in lane 4 by the team from Caulfield. They've come up almost alongside Nunawading, with Melbourne and Surrey Park getting back into this race as well.
The Surrey Park have come from nowhere here. They're up into third by the look of it. And it's all going to come down to the finish. It looks like it's going to be Nunawading taking this one out, but we've got a great battle on for second. Who's going to get there?
Looks like Melbourne might just have a slight advantage, but it will be that Nunawading team, 135.77. Melbourne finishing off in second, 137.22. Caulfield picking up that bronze medal, 137.49.
Introducing the finalists for event number 3, the men's 100-metre butterfly. In lane 0, Owen Kruger from Westbourne. In lane 1, Elson Lee from Melbourne. In lane 2 from Western Aquatic, Dmitry Solokoltov. In 3, Eli Billman from Ivanhoe Swimming. In lane 4, Ewan Smith from Furbank. In 5 from Nunawading, Haruki Nakanski. In 6 from MLC, Dominic Su. In lane 7, James Ward from Caulfield. In lane 8 from Nunawading, Riley Mitchell. And in lane 9 from Surrey Park, Daniel Citravesi. These are the finalists for event number 3, the men's 100-metre butterfly.
And event three here is underway, the men's 100-metre butterfly. And a good start there from Ewan Smith in lane 4 at an 11.4. And it was a great underwater there too by Haruki Nikanashi. These boys are going to touch here, probably first and second in lanes 4 and 5.
Yeah, just 2 100ths separating our leaders on the first 25 and at the 50-metre turn, 25.0. Pretty solid early speed, and those guys already pushing their way about half a body length in front of Eli Billman in lane 3, one of our youngsters in this field.
It looks like Ewan Smith got the better of the turns there and just fractionally beat him off that wall. Coming down now to the flags, all about the finish, and it looks like Smith will take it out there. 53.3 in second there is Haruki Nikanashi, and Eli Billman gets in for third and a 54.4.
Introducing the finalists for Event 4, the women's 100-metre freestyle multi-class. In lane 0, representing Essendon, Molly Griffin, S7. In lane 1, from Molnbok, Phoebe Edwards, S14. In 2, from Warragul, Tyra Jensen, S14. In lane 3, from Geelong, Evie Lee, S19. In lane 4, from Albury, Mia Hogan, S13. In 5, from Warragul, Ava Dennis, S19. From Ballarat Gold, Anna Layton, S14. From MLC, in lane 7, Ruby Halliday, S8. In lane 8, Amber Stelling, S8 from Caulfield. And in lane 9, from Ivanhoe Swim, Madeline Fox, S18. These are the finalists for event number 4, the women's 100-metre freestyle multiclass.
Alrighty, and event 4 is underway here, the women's 100 freestyle multi-class final, and what a great range of ages we've got in this event, ranging from the ages of 13 all the way through to 27.
Yeah, Mia's certainly someone to keep an eye on in the future. We spoke to Mel Tantrum earlier this year, the head coach of our para team, and she's one of those athletes that's being targeted by Swimming Australia for that potential to be on our LA team up in 2028. So definitely a young superstar in the making. Keep an eye on some of our Victorian girls. So Mia, one of our Albury swimmers. Ava Dennis from Warragul. She's had a great meet. We saw her at Countries a couple of weeks ago competing in those able-bodied events as well as these multi-class swims. So these girls can do it all, really.
They certainly can, and it's so impressive when you see some of these junior athletes out here from the ages of 13, 14 up to 16 racing in an open final. It's great practice for them going into bigger meets in the futures of their careers. And coming now down the wall, Mia Hogan will touch him first, and we'll see the time here. It's a 104.00. Ava Dennis in second there in a 104.8, and in third there was Evie Lee.
1, 2, and 3. Do I have the results?
Now we do know with our multi-class events, it isn't necessarily the first person onto the wall who will take away these state open medals. Each individual classification, we compare those times to the world record. We look at those point scores, and the highest point scores will be our winners.
And our medal presentations for Event 1, our mixed 200-metre medley relay para and able body. In third, Warrnambool. In third place, Ivanhoe Swim. In second place, Japan. And in first place, with the gold, we have Warrnambool. Congratulations. Our medal presentation for Event 2, our mixed 200-metre freestyle relay. In third position with the bronze medal, we have Caulfield. In second with the silver, we have Melbourne. And in first position with the gold, we have Nunawading. Congratulations. Now to our Event 3 medal presentations, our men's 100-metre butterfly. In third position with the bronze medal, we have Eli Billman from Ivanhoe Swim. In second with the silver, we have Aruki Nakanski from Nunawading. And in first place with the gold medal, congratulations, Ewan Smith from Furbank, with a time of 53:39. Well done to all of our athletes and our medal holders. For event 4, we have the women's 100-metre multi-class freestyle. In third with the bronze, Ruby Halliday. In second with the silver, Anna Leeton from Ballarat Gold. And in first with the gold medal, we have Mia Hogan, our visitor from Albury, with a time of 1:04.00. Well done to everyone. Congratulations as we now move to our event 5. So introducing our finalists for event 5, our men's 100-metre freestyle multi-class. In lane 0, James Shield from Surrey Park, S14. In lane 1, from Oasis Otters, Calvin Tran, S14. In 2, from Camberwell, Mi Xing Pang, also S14. In 3, from Melbourne, James Logan, S15. In 4, from Nuttawading, Samuel Greterex, S15. In 5, from Albany Creek, Dylan Logan, also S15. In lane 6, from Melton, Benjamin Wills, S19. In lane 7, representing Propulsion, Hamish Keenan, S9. In lane 8, from Yarra Plenty, Cooper Harrington, S14. Representing Wodonga City in lane 9, David Bale, S8. And it doesn't match.
And we are underway here in the men's multi-class 100-metre freestyle final. Now, it's a great start there in lane 4 from Samuel Giortorix. And turning second there is Dylan Logan. So these boys have gone out pretty fast there, 11.8 and 12.6.
Yeah, we saw some great swims from the boys this morning. Samuel comes into this, he's split 53.0, so he'll be trying to scrape a little bit of extra time off, maybe look up and see a 52 on the board.
He's looking very strong here as he comes into this last turn. How's he looking? As he heads for home, we've got a good battle on there, though, between lanes 6, 3 and 2. And 52.4. It's a great swim there from Sam. Coming in now, Dylan Logan finishes strong, and with a good battle there from the boys in lanes 6 and 3, with James Logan finishing in third there.
Medal presentations for event number 5, the men's 100-metre freestyle multiclass. In third position with the bronze, Mi Xing Pang from Camberwell. In second with the silver, Dylan Logan, our visitor from Albany Creek. And in first with the gold, Samuel Gretorix from Nuttawading with a time of 52.42. And we move to event 6, our women's 200-metre IM. In lane 0, from Surrey Park, Riley Cardo. In lane 1 from Melton, Mana Mahfouz. In 2, we have from Caulfield, Zali Schneiders. In lane 3, Judy Hassan Aman from Surrey Park. In lane 4, we have Alana Torrance from Nuttawading. Also representing Nuttawading in 5, Dakota Mathers. In lane 6, Lucy Ma from MLC. In lane 7, Lucy Doyle from Nuttawading. In 8, from Melbourne, Grace Dolby. And in lane 9, Emerson Hogan from Ivanhoe Swim. These are the finalists for event number 6, our women's 200-metre IM.
Women's 200-metre individual medley, one of the favourite events, I think, on the program. We get to see those swaps and changes within the lead once again, depending on athletes' strengths. But swimming out of lane 4, Alana Torrance, she had a really dominant performance in today's heat. She was certainly one to look out for this afternoon, and she's away very nicely in this first 50.
Yeah, she certainly has. It starts off this first 50 at a 28.5. It's a handy lead she's got as she moves into this backstroke. Alongside her, Judy and Dakota are also looking pretty strong, sitting in second and third. And over the far side there in lane 1, Mana Mahfouz going quite well too.
We often talk about the importance of the breaststroke leg within the IM, but I think one of the most, in particular, important parts is this bit right here, that backstroke into the breaststroke. It's all about maintaining that momentum through that turn and seeing who can hold it through this next 50.
You can see the swimmers now doing that new hybrid back to breast turn where you're almost finished on your side at a 90-degree angle and swivel around now. Some swimmers still haven't quite got the knack of it yet and will persist for that traditional turn, but that's always up to a swimmer's preference of which they prefer.
And once again, another dominant performance here by Alana. She's really increased that lead through this breaststroke. She's got that great breaststroke from Medley, holding that glide nicely. We're also seeing a really good breaststroke here from Lucy Ma down in lane 6 from MLC. She's pushed her way into second ahead of Dakota Mathers. And then the little battle for that third and fourth spot there also occurring.
This will be Alana Torrance's to lose from here. She's coming into her final turn. She's bringing those legs in pretty hard in the freestyle. This freestyle leg, it's whatever you got left. Just put it all into this last 50 and finish strong. And we can see Lucy Ma has had a great last 50 here, and she's put herself up into second place now.
Coming into the wall, though, will be Alana Torrance, 2:12.12 ahead of Lucy Ma. And then finishing off in third there was Dakota, 2:17.81.
And the medal presentation for event number 6, the women's 200 metre IM, just swum in the 3rd position from Surrey Park, Judy Hassan Aman. With the silver from Nuttawading, Dakota Mathers. And in 1st position with the gold medal, Alana Torrance from Nuttawading in a time of 2:12.12. Awesome job, girls. Now to event number 7, our finalists in lane 1 for the 100 metre IM for the men's. In lane 0, Jacob Nimmo from Caulfield. In lane 1, Harry Heath from Nuttawading. In 2, representing Ivanhoe, Leo Dong. In 3, Ashley Nichols from Traralgon. From Nuttawading in 4, Callum Halloran Lavelle. In lane 5 from Ivanhoe Swim, Kakuru Zeno. In 6 from Caulfield, Daniel Cave. In lane 7, Damien Lane from M1. In lane 8 from CGGS, Alan Lang. In lane 9, Patrick Forrester from Swimland. And those are our finalists for event number 7, the men's 100 metre IM.
Away we go now, 100 IM, half the distance, double the fun, splash and dash. It's a short course only event and the boys are here to put on a performance. 11.09 for Callum Halloran Lavelle. He'll lead us around at that 25 metre turn.
Yeah, Carly, and these boys are pushing those underwaters all the way and they're coming in to do their breaststroke turn, nice, quick off the wall, making sure that they are going as far as they can with these underwaters.
So halfway through, and it is Cal still out in the lead ahead of Ash Nichols, swimming out of lane 3. And over in lane 7, Damien Lane turned in 3rd, but the breaststrokers are starting to push their way through this field now. Not quite going to be enough, though, with only 10 metres left to swim for Callum Halloran Lavelle. He's going to storm down this final lap and take out event 7 in a 53.80.
And what a dominating swim that was from Callum. And we have Ashley Nichols coming in a 54.83, and in 3rd place with a 56.46 we have Hikaru Zeno.
And the medal presentation for event number 7, the men's 100 metre IM. In 3rd position with the bronze, Kakaru Zeno from Ivanhoe Swim. In 2nd with the silver, Ashley Nichols from Traralgon. And awarded the gold medal from Nuttawading, Callum Halloran Lavelle, in 1st position with a time of 53.80. And introducing our finalists for event number 8, our women's 50 metre butterfly. In lane 0 from Melbourne, Zara Jeffrey. In 1, also from Melbourne, Zoe Clemenson. In lane 2, Courtney Mudge from Nuttawading. From Traralgon in lane 3, Jessica Whiting. In lane 4, Mia Yu from Caulfield. From DVE in lane 5, Rihanna Chen. In lane 6, Isabella Osborne from MLC. In lane 7, from Surrey Park, Ikasadkas Nasari. In lane 8, from Caulfield, Caitlin Ord. From Surrey Park in lane 9, Judy Hassan Aman. And those are the finalists for event number 8, the 50 metre women's butterfly.
And we are off and away with the women's 50 metres butterfly. This splash and dash is going to be over before you know it. What a dominating start we have from these middle lanes, lane 5 and lane 4. Touching in first off that middle is Jessica Whiting.
Jessica Whiting there, the pocket rocket from Terrelgan. She's led us through, but it was a really nice turn and underwater in lane 5 by Rihanna Chen, who's taken over that lead. Nazia looks like she might be sitting in second. Quick finish from Mia Yao, but it will be Rihanna Chen, 27.52. Mia, 27.60. And Isabella Osborne in third, 27.65.
After the start of the next. And the medal presentation for event 8 in the bronze medal position, Isabella Osborne from MLC Aquatic. In the silver second position from Caulfield, Mia Yao. And with the gold medal from DBE, Rihanna Chen, with a time of 27.52. Congratulations, girls. Introducing finalists for event number 9, the men's 400-metre freestyle. In lane 0 from Ivanhoe Swim, Kansi Kamaja. In lane 1, also from Ivanhoe Swim, Eli Billman. In lane 2, Oliver McCormick from Vic Centre. In lane 3 from Nuttawading, Joshua Carnes. Also from Nuttawading in lane 4, Tommy Lane. In 5 from NASC, Oscar Kreutzberger. In lane 6 from Surrey Park, Rowan Wayne. In 7, Jesse Phillips, also from Surrey Park. And another person from Surrey Park as well, another athlete, Connor Hayes, in lane 8. From Nuttawading in lane 9, Oscar Campbell. These are the finalists for event number 9, the men's 400-metre freestyle. There is an infraction report for event number 6. Heat number 1, the swimmer in lane 6, has been disqualified for not on the back immediately prior to the finish of the breaststroke section. That is an infraction report for event number 6, heat number 1, lane number 6, the swimmer number 6, not on the back immediately prior for the finish of the backstroke section.
Alrighty, we're through that first 50, this 400 freestyle. And it's those two boys in the middle lanes there in lanes 3 and 4. Josh Carnes and Tommy Lane going out relatively quick here.
Yeah, we're getting into the 1/4 race, and you'll probably see these swimmers will structure this 400 by breaking it into groups of 4. So as they're talking with their coaches, they will be talking about how they go out in this first 100 and how they're going to build throughout this race.
So these boys are going stroke for stroke at the moment here as they're coming up to the 125-metre mark. It looks like now he has moved just in front now, Tommy Lane. Oscar Kreutzberger there going quite well.
And these boys in our middle lanes are actually breathing towards each other, which is a great push as they come through, coming in the 150 mark.
It's always interesting how you race that 400, whether you build each 100 as like 4 100s or do you go out pretty hard and hang on. It's all dependent on the swimmers' tactics and how they train and how they can use to their, what they can use to their strengths.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at the way these boys are racing, it looks like they're going to have a little bit more in the tank as they come into the second half, especially with looking at how their kick is looking a bit reserved, and we're hopefully going to see that step up as we come through.
And you'll see these boys here as they push off and glide, they'll still do that one dolphin kick just to get that bit of extra distance, especially short course. You still want to utilise the walls, use this free speed and get off that wall, glide momentarily, get that kick, and then away we go.
Absolutely. It's also looking as it's going to be a really tight race for third, looking very close between lanes 2, 3, 6 and 7.
And at the 250-metre mark, Tommy Lane is still just about half a body length in front of Oscar. And these two boys have built up a solid lead now. The rest of the field is back. It's pretty tight position for third, but these two boys are in a race of their own for first and second.
Absolutely. And we can see a V next to Oscar Krusberger's name. So here's a visitor. So meets like this, like Vic Opens, they are a great chance for some of our interstate competitors to come and race in a very tough field.
And now we've just got the final 100 here. They're 3/4 of the way through. And Oscar has caught up a slight bit here now. So we've got 75 metres to go. He has pulled up alongside him, and these two boys are going to push each other through. He had a sneaky breath there. He breathed the wrong way and had a look at where he's sitting. Oh, it was a really good turn there from Tommy, though.
Yeah, you can see these boys are putting on their afterburners as they're going to come under the flags, heading into the last 50 of this 400.
And this last 50, I should say, is underway. These two boys are going to go well under the 4-minute mark, you would think.
Yeah, what an impressive race that these boys have put together. It's been so consistent, and you can see the way that they've just built throughout this race. And what an explode.
Tommy's really brought the legs in here to finish. He's coming down now to the wall. He's going to hold him off. Oscar's finished strong, but Tommy will take it out here. It's a 3:49.6. It's a great swim. Oscar in second there at a 3:50.5. That well swum there, boys. And coming in now for third. It looks as if Ollie McCormack will come in third. He does go under the 4 minutes at a 3:58.
And the medal presentation for Event 9, the men's 400-metre freestyle. In third, winning the bronze medal, Oliver McCormack from Vic Centre. In second, with the silver, our visitor, Oscar Kreutzberger from NASC. And in first with the gold medal, Tommy Lane from Nuttawading with a time of 3:49.68. Congratulations to our medal winners. And now to event number 10, the women's 50-metre butterfly multi-class. Our finalists starting in lane 1 from Sale, Mackenzie Gibbs, S19. In lane 2 from Warrigal, Tyra Jensen, S14. Representing Propulsion, Jessica McAdermott, S19. In lane 4 from Geelong, Meg Conhetty, S19. In lane 5, Alison Freely, S19 from Western Aquatic. Representing Nuttawading in lane 6, Abigail Gabellini, S19. In 7 from Warrnambool, Lisa Bale, S19. And Phoebe Edwards in lane 8 from Monbulk. Those are our finalists for Event 10, the women's 50-metre butterfly multi-class.
Yep. And underway here for the 50-metre butterfly multi-class. Was a great start there in lane 4 from Meg Kahidi. And she is flying across the top of the water here as she comes down to the turn.
She has attacked that wall and has got some beautiful underwaters coming into the second 25, keeping her head down. What an awesome work. And she is storming through to the finish. She's going to keep her head down, and she's going to come in with a cracking time of 31.2.
So slightly over entry time there at 30.9, and coming in second there was Alison Feely, and third there was Jessica McDermott.
And the event presentation for event 10, our women's 50-metre butterfly multi-class. In third, winner of the bronze medal, Phoebe Edwards from Monbulk. In second position with the silver, Tyra Jensen from Warragul. And in first with the gold medal, Med Conhetty from Geelong with a time of 31.20. Awesome efforts. As we move to now event 11, our finalists for the men's 50-metre butterfly multi-class. In lane 0, Aaron Skinner, S14 from Geelong Sharks. In 1, from Surrey Park, James Shield, S14. In lane 2 from Oasis Otters, Andrew Din, S19. In 3 from Melton, Benjamin Wills, S19. In lane 4, one of our visitors, Dylan Logan, S15 from Albany Creek. In lane 5 from Melbourne, James Logan, S15. In 6, Mi Zing Pang, S14 from Camberwell. Oasis Otters in lane 7 has Calvin Tran, S14. Representing Wodonga City, we have David Bale, S8 in lane 8. And in lane 9, Athen Akopoulos, S14 from Oasis Otters. These are our finalists for event 11, the men's 50-metre butterfly multi-class.
In the water with the 50-metre butterfly for men's multi-class. Really good start underway here in those centre lanes. Leading us around, Dylan Logan, 12.56.
And Dylan coming into the wall now. His head's down, no breathing under the flags, and he finishes strong. 27.7, followed there by James Logan, 29.2, and in third place there was Ming Zi Pang, 30.7.
And the medal presentation for event 11, the men's 50-metre butterfly multi-class. In third, with the bronze medal to James Shield from Surrey Park. Awarded the silver medal in second position, Andrew Din from Oasis Otters. And in first with the gold, we have Athen Akapoulos from Oasis Otters with a time of 37.73. Congratulations. Now introducing the finalists for event number 12, the women's 200-metre backstroke. In lane 0 from Nuttawading, Jessie Steinman. In 1 from Ballarat Gold, Claire Matheson. In lane 2, Kira Jeffs from Nuttawading. In lane 3, representing Furbank, Sarah Cooper. In lane 4, Abby Kearney for Nuttawading. In 5, one of our visitors, Mia Holler from NWD. In 6 from Melbourne, Madison Cooper. In lane 7 from Geelong, Nicole Briscoe. From Melton in lane 8, Layla Mahfouz. In 9, representing Warrnambool, Sophie Ryan. These are your finalists for event number 12, the women's 200-metre backstroke.
So our 200 backstroke now underway. It was a great start there from Abby Kearney in lane 4. It was a really good underwater and breakout right out to that 15. And pretty even across the field, though. As you see over in lane 0, really good start there from Jessie Steinman as well.
It was certainly an interesting heat session this morning in this 200-metre back. A few of these girls adding time, and then others did some really solid PBs. So we'll look to see what can go on in this final. We might have a little bit of an outside smoker over there in lane 0, but it will be Abby Kearney who leads us through at the 50-metre turn. 30.25 ahead of Jessie Steinman, and Claire Matheson sitting in third.
There's a great underwater again and great breakout. She's now got a 2 body length lead here. She comes in this 75-metre mark, and she looks like she's increasing with every single stroke. Steinman, as you're saying, is still sitting second. That smoker over in lane 0.
Abby definitely being very consistent on those underwaters. I really like that she begins those dolphin kicks a little bit slower and then speeds them up as she comes through that breakout into the backstroke kick.
And we've got a good battle on for third now. The middle of the pool, these swimmers are just starting to pull up to Steinman now. But it's all in the eyes on lane 4 at the moment. Abby Kearney increasing there at the 125-metre mark at a 1:19.2. Mia Holler having a good third 50 here as well.
Yeah, we talk about it as that premiership quarter, the ever-important third 50. Maddie Cooper sitting up alongside Mia Holler in lane 5. She's had a great morning as well. It's great to see Maddie in some really good form, putting together some solid performances off the back of a shoulder injury recently.
And Abby now moving into her final turn here. You'll see her coming in. Let's see how she goes up this last wall. She'll get right out to 10 metres. She pretty much does there. Again, every single turn she's been getting to that 10-metre mark. It just shows how well her underwaters are. It's putting her in great stead come Open Nationals in a few weeks' time.
Consistency is key here, and that's what's done it for Abby Kearney, taking out the 200-metre backstroke, 2:09.34, tied onto the finish for those medals. And we'll go Mia Holler in second, 2:14.15, with Maddie Cooper in third and Jessie Steinman fourth onto the wall.
And the medal presentation for event 12, the women's 200-metre backstroke. In third position with the bronze medal, Madison Cooper from Melbourne. Awarded in second position, our visitor Mia Holler from NWD, the silver. And with the gold medal, it goes to Abby Kearney from Nuttawading in a time of 2:09.34. And we head into event 13, our finalists for the men's 100-metre backstroke. In lane 0, Lewis G from Nuttawading. In lane 1 from Caulfield, Max Bosley. In 2 from Surrey Park, Anthony Basunas. In lane 3 from Warrnambool, Christy Crane. Sebastian Christy Crane. In 4 from Caulfield, Xavier Purcell. In 5 from Warrnambool, Akalanka Paris. In 6, representing Propulsion, Lachlan Jackets Simpson. In 7 from MLC Aquatic, Dominic Sue. In lane 8 from Propulsion, Blake Hughes. From Nuttawading in lane 9, Jake Riley. And these are your finalists for event 13, the men's 100-metre backstroke.
Alrighty, the men's 100-metre backstroke's underway here. There's a great start there in lane 5 from Akalanka Parisis from Warrnambool. You can see there's a great underwater 2 off that turn.
Akalanka recently broke that country short course record a couple of weekends ago, swimming from Warrnambool Swim Club. Going to lead us through at that 50-metre turn as well, holding and maintaining those nice underwaters. Right alongside him, though, in lane 6 is Lockie Jackett-Simpson, and starting to push through the field, Xavier Purcell in 4.
Yeah, they've caught up to me in this third 25, haven't they? It's all about this last 25 now. Really good underwater there. Well, this is going to be a tight finish. Finishing strong over here is Lockie Jackett-Simpson, as you were saying. He's going to come down the touch. Who gets it? It looks like...
And the medal presentation for event 13, the men's 100-metre backstroke. In third position, awarded the bronze medal, Lachlan Jackett-Simpson from Propulsion. In second, with the silver, Xavier Purcell from Caulfield. And in first position, the winner of the gold medal, Akalanka Paris from Warrnambool, with a time of 54.47. Well done to our winners. We have event 14, the finalists for the women's 100-metre backstroke multiclass. In lane 0 from MLC, Ruby Halliday, S8. In lane 1 from Warrnambool, Amy Bale, S19. In 2 from Nuttawading, Abigail Gabellini, S19. From Geelong in lane 3, Evie Lee, S19. In lane 4 from Japan, one of our visitors, Akua Nagahishigashiki. In 5 from Albury, another one of our visitors, Mia Hogan, S13. In 6 from Ballarat Gold, Anna Leighton, S14. And in 7, Warragul, representing Warragul, Ava Dennis, S19. Lane 8 from Sale, Mackenzie Gibbs, also S19. And in lane 9, Madeline Fox, S18 from Ivanhoe Swim. These are your finalists for the women's 100-metre backstroke multiclass.
In the water now with the 100-metre backstroke for multiclass women, and we've got a few medal winners from tonight returning to the pool. Great start in the centre lane though. Ikuha, one of our visiting athletes from Japan.
It's always great when we have international swimmers coming out and competing here. Lifts the standard of our swimmers to make finals. It's also great to see the best on display.
And we are certainly getting an absolute taste of the best here. It's a great race out in those golden lanes in the centre of the pool, but incredible underwaters there by Ikuha.
And coming in now to the wall, it will be Nakanakashi there coming in. And let's see the time that she throws down here. And it is a fast time, 107.4, fast this morning of a 108.1. Which is always what you want to see, going faster in that final from the heat. Always puts you in good stead coming into bigger competitions.
Yeah, definitely always a tough turnaround between heats and finals, especially if you have one of those packed programs, which I know a lot of these athletes do across the weekend. As we watch our final athletes make their way down the pool. See who can crack another personal best here. "10 metres left to swim for Maddie Fox." Love that excitement from her before the start of the race. Big waves to the camera.
Sorry.
And that'll close out this final 159.11.
And the medal presentation for event 14, the women's 100-metre backstroke multiclass. In third with the bronze, Ruby Halliday from MLC. Second with the silver, Mia Hogan, one of our visitors from Albury. And in first, another one of our visitors from Japan with the gold medal, Akua Nakagashi, with a time of 1:07.45. Now to event 15, the men's 100-metre backstroke multiclass. Your finalists, starting in lane 1, Oasis Otters, Athen Akapolis, S14. In lane 3, from Oasis Otters, Calvin Tran, S14. Representing Nuttawading, Samuel Gretorix, S15, in 4. In lane 5, James Logan, S15 from Melbourne. In 6, Andrew Ding, S19 from Oasis Otters. And in lane 7, representing Western Aquatic, Joshua Briggs, S19. These are your finalists for event 15, the men's 100-metre backstroke multiclass.
Guys turned up late and he didn't
Talbot.
Alrighty, underway here for the men's 100-metre backstroke multi-class. And we're familiar names again in this one, Kalia.
We certainly do, and some big names at that. We've got some incredible swimmers within this heat. So I should say this final, and I'm getting away very, very quickly. Once again, always out to that flying start. Samuel Greatorex in lane 4. Dominant performance in the 100 freestyle earlier. He's going to turn at the 50-metre mark at a 29.64.
And James Logan turning in second there at a 33.5, followed by Andrew Din there at a 34.5. So good battle over there in lanes 5 and 6. All eyes are on Sam here as he comes into his final turn. It's a good underwater again, gets out past the flags from that breakout, which is what you want to be trying to do is you fatigue onto that last turn. Short course, that last turn can always hurt.
He'll come down under the flags now. A great swim, 101.15. Into the wall second, 108.47 for James Logan and Andrew Din, 110.76.
Medal presentation for event 15, our men's 100-metre backstroke multi-class. In third position with the bronze medal, Calvin Tran from Oasis Otters. Awarded the silver in second, James Logan from Melbourne. And the winner of our gold medal, it is Nuttawading, our athlete Samuel Greatorex with a time of 1:01.15.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty impressive. It's still that quick. I think it's just a 50 short course.
And introducing the finalists for event 16, the women's 50-metre freestyle. Our finalists in lane 0 from Caulfield, Mia Yu. In 1 from Bayside, Eve Anderson. In lane 2, Gabrielle King from Camberwell. In 3, Brooke Miles from Melbourne. From Surrey Park, in lane 4, Nazia Ikasakis. In 5, from Nuttawading, Alana Torrance. Also from Nuttawading in 6, Kira Jeffs. In 7, Zara Olawini from Melbourne. And from 8, Caulfield, Caitlin Ord. And in 9, from DVE, Rihanna Chen. These are our finalists for event 16, the women's 50-metre freestyle.
And we're off with the 50-metre freestyle. This is going to be a splash and dash. Ladies and gents, it's going to be over before you know it. We have a flying start from our middle lanes, and turning first at the halfway, we've got Nazia Icosidius. And popping up, we have a surge coming from lane 2. And a tight touch. This is going to be close between these 3 lanes. And we have coming in equal first between Gabrielle King and Alana Torrance. We don't see that every day with a 25.86. And touching in third with a 25.88 is Nazia in lane 4.
And the medal presentations for event 16, our women's 50-metre freestyle. In third with the bronze, Nazia Ikasadkas from Surrey Park. Second with the silver, Alana Torrance from Nunawading. And winning our gold medal from Camberwell, Gabrielle King with a time of 25.86. Congratulations to our winners. As we now head into our next event, event 17, our finalists for our men's 200-metre breaststroke. In lane 0, Harold Zhu from MLC. In lane 1, from Ivanhoe Swim, Leon Vidal. In lane 2, Dax Conhetti from Geelong. From Nunawading in lane 3, Harry Heath. From Caulfield in 4, Daniel Cave. In lane 5, Thomas Dale from Furbank. In 6 from Ivanhoe Swim, Kakaru Zeno. In 7 from Caulfield, Xavier Eagle. In 8 from Surrey Park, Owen Warsome. And in 9 from Swimland, Patrick Forrester. These are your finalists for event 17, the men's 200-metre backstroke.
All right, this should be a cracking race here. The men's 200-metre breaststroke. Some really fast times here. A familiar old face, Daniel Cave in lane 4.
Also in this race, we have a lot of youngsters, a lot of 15 and 16-year-olds racing against these more experienced athletes in the middle lanes.
It's always great to get these youngsters up against the older ones. Good experience for them racing in a final, especially against the calibre of someone like Daniel Cave. And Harry Heath in there's also a familiar name.
Yeah, absolutely. And Daniel Cave has touched at the 50-metre mark, going out in a 29.75. The only one of these boys to go under the 30-second mark.
He's looking very strong. You can see he's getting nice length off each stroke here. He's still keeping the glide, and that kick comes in a little bit later in that 200. He's keeping that efficiency. He's still getting a nice distance off that split stroke. He's keeping that rhythm.
Yeah, and it in fact looks like he's gaining distance, and he's doing an awesome job of increasing that lead off every wall, which is something that he'll have an advantage of against these other athletes. Being more experienced, he'll know and have that better feel on the water and being able to utilise it to get as far as he can.
And Thomas Dale sitting in second here, hasn't gone away, and coming up alongside him now is Kakuruku Zeno, and these two boys having a really good battle for second and third at this point. And Harry Heath and Xavier Eagle just sitting back off those two just slightly.
And we're coming under the wall, heading into the last 50. This is going to hurt. So these boys will be trying to use their upper body and driving it forward each time they take a stroke.
Cave now coming into his last turn. Let's see what he's got left. And looks like Zeno has overtaken Thomas Dale there to sit into second place. And he's really caught up to Cavey here. and he's finishing really strong. Cave is going to hang on. Let's see the time that he goes. Bit long on the finish, but 2:12.7. It's a good time. And Kakaru Zeno in second. And Harry Heath gets in for third with a great last 50 there at 2:16.2.
And our medal presentations for event 17, our men's 200-meter breaststroke. In third, with the bronze medal, Harry Heath from Nunawading. Awarded the silver from Ivanhoe Swim, Kakaru Zeno. And congratulations to Daniel Cave, winner of the gold from Caulfield with 2:12.78 for a time. And now our finalists for event 18, the women's 800-meter freestyle. In lane 0 from Caulfield, Zara Barr. In lane 1 from MLC Aquatic, Sienna Satterlin. In 2 from Surrey Park, Brianna Burgess. In 3, Madison Brand from Nunawading. Representing Surrey Park in lane 4, Erika Ndeko. In lane 5 from Nunawading, Lucy Doyle. Her clubmate in 6, Dakota Mathers. In 7 from Ivanhoe Swim, Emerson Hogan. In 8 from Melbourne, Amy Bai. And these are your finalists for event 18, the women's 800-meter freestyle.
Alrighty, event 18 here. The women's 800-meter freestyle.
And we're off to a very even start. None of these girls making a definite move this first 25, but this is an 800, so they have plenty of time to make some tactical decisions.
Well, these swimmers want to be getting out relatively quick. You look at how Ledecky and these other female long-distance swimmers race it now. You get out hard, you attack, and then it's about just trying to hang on rather than pacing yourself from the start. These guys like to get a bit quicker now, get their rate up a bit earlier, especially short course. You want to be up pretty quick.
Absolutely.
And so Arika Odenko coming through here, and it'll be the first 100. We'll see what she turns in. Her teammate Brianna Burgess is looking like she'll turn in second. And so 102.7 leads us through that first 100. And it's a good group of them. It's Lucy Doyle, Dakota Mathers, Madison Brand. They're all in this race now.
Yeah, we love to see, especially when we have teammates racing each other. So we've got Dakota and Lucy from Nunawading. We've got Erica and Brianna from Surrey Park. These athletes train with each other every day and will be used to pacing each other every day. So we'll probably see a lot of these athletes go similar times because this is what they do day in, day out in training.
Oh. It's Arika Odenko now just starting to increase her lead. Another good turn. You can see she's still doing that one dolphin kick glide, dolphin kick off that wall and getting out past the flags. Lucy Doyle sitting in second. And Brianna Burgess over there in lane 2, bit of a smoker, still sitting up in this top group as well.
And Erica has turned at the 200-metre mark in a 2:08.45. and is looking like she's increasing that gap with every wall that she's pushing off.
It's always interesting tactics in a 200 freestyle, whether you build it or you break it down as 4 200s. That's how some swimmers like to do it. Some even break it down to 8 100s, depending on how their coach likes to see it. And these swimmers are often doing a lot more distance work on shorter rest, around that efficiency, and doing more distance overall in volume.
Yeah, these swimmers are the last ones out of the pool every session. They are doing so many kilometres every week just for these races, and are really, really gutsy swimmers, you'll find.
It's a lot more around that stroke length, stroke count, and doing multiple efforts at a lower pace and a lower heart rate threshold.
Absolutely. These swimmers all have such an efficient stroke. Their technique is so efficient, and that is going to be critical because with these long races, you want to be using your energy in the right times and in the right places. So if you have an efficient stroke, you are not going to be able to get to the end with that last oomph.
And so Arika Adenko is really starting to increase her lead. These other girls who have to make a move if they are going to catch her. Dakota Mathers, Lucy Doyle, they're still in this race, but they've got a bit of work to do. Brianna Burgess still sitting in third as well. Madison Brand in that pack. So it's a group of 5 now.
And we can see now Lucy Doyle is starting to pull away from Brianna Burgess in lane 2 and is starting to make a bit of a chase for Arika. And we'll see if she can close this gap as we start to head into the halfway mark of this race. Now touching it halfway, we do have Arika still maintaining her lead in a 4:26.2. Lucy Doyle turning in a 4:25.31.
So Arika Adenko is just increasing with each lap that distance she's got on the rest of the field. And Lucy Doyle is having a very strong back end of this race now. She's pushed herself up into second. Brianna Burgess has just dropped off the pack, and Madison Brand is starting to really move through over there in lane 3. Watch out for her.
Yeah, the race for third is becoming tighter and tighter as this race goes on. Dakota Mathers has joined the race for third with these other girls. But still, we have Arika out in front. I'd also actually like to give out a shout out to our end lanes. We have Zara Barr and Amy Bai. Both of these girls are 13 years old, which is incredibly young to be swimming such long races. So awesome work for these girls for giving such a gutsy performance against these experienced swimmers.
You still see Arika Adenko is really still lengthening out that stroke, starting to bring the legs in ever so slightly now. She'll just start increasing, still doing those kicks off the wall, which is great, keeping her stroke nice and long and efficient, and you can see those legs just starting to kick.
Yeah, and what I love seeing with Arika and the way that she's swimming this race, she's keeping her head down for that first stroke off the wall and really maintaining that momentum that she has built coming off the wall.
So a really good battle on for third now between Dakota, Madison and Brianna.
Yeah, Dakota's just come from behind and has really made a place for herself in this race. Now with just under 200 metres to go, these swimmers will be thinking about putting in their last energy reserves, putting that final build so that they can come into the wall with full speed.
You see this swimmer's now starting to try and build into this 800 now. We're coming down, just 150 metres to go. You really want to finish off strong in your 800. Bring the legs in, still work the turns, but you're still keeping that stroke long, but you're just trying to lift that rate up a little bit. Which can be pretty hard to do as you're at the 650 metre mark of an 800 in your short course.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Arika's just turned with 100 metres to go in this race. The stroke rate is lifted, the kicking has lifted, and it's got to be hurting right now.
Yeah, she's got 75 metres to swim here. You can see her friends and teammates over there cheering her on. Lucy Doyle is finishing strong here as well. She's got 3 laps to go.
Yeah, a lot of these girls have had a really packed program. So having an 800 free, after a lot of these girls are doing the 2 IM and the 2 free later on today, is very intense. Now the bells are signaling that they have 50 metres to go, which is such a relief for many of these swimmers after such a grueling race. And Arika is storming home through this last 25 of this 800. This is going to be a very impressive swim, coming well under the 9-minute mark, and she is going to touch in an 8:42.44.
It's a great swim there, 8:42.4. Smashed 10 seconds off. And Lucy Doyle comes in second at 8:52. She's gone well under that 9-minute mark. And in third place there, Dakota Mathers. She also goes under that 9-minute mark. So we've got 4 swimmers under 9 minutes. It's a fast final there. Well swum there, girls.
Medal presentation for event 18, the women's 800 metre freestyle. In third with the gold, Dakota Mathers from Nuttawading. In second position with the silver, Lucy Doyle, also from Nuttawading. And in first with the gold medal, Erika Ndenko, with the time of 8:42.44 for her club, Surrey Park. And next up here we have event 19, our finalists for our men's 100 metre freestyle. In lane 0, Ewan Smith from Furbank. From Camberwell in lane 1, Sam Welsh. In 2 from Nuttawading, Cullum Halloran Lavelle. In lane 3, Ashley Nichols representing Traralgon. In lane 4 from Caulfield, Oliver McKenzie. In 5, James Ward, also from Caulfield. In 6, representing Propulsion, Lachlan Jackett-Smith. Oh, Simpson, apologies. In 7, from Melbourne, Bart Opperitz. In 8, from Ivanhoe Swim, Eli Billman. And in 9 from Caulfield, Adonis Giotopoulos. These are our finalists for event 19, the men's 100 metre freestyle.
Flying into the pool now, it's the men's 100-metre freestyle, the real splash and dash, particularly in short course season. Taking us away in that first 25 will be our swimmer in lane 5, James Ward, 10.89, just ahead of Callum Heller and Lavelle. And our title holder from last year's 100 free, swimming out of lane 6, one to keep an eye on, Lockie Jackett-Simpson.
And turning first at the halfway hard mark, we have James Ward in a 23.29. These boys are flying as they are coming through to the 75-metre mark of this race. And James is maintaining that lead. Let's see how he goes coming into this last 25. He has made a gap and he's coming under the wall. He is putting his head down and is going to touch in a time of 48.64. And in second place, in a 49.08, we have Lockie Jackett-Simpson, and in third, we have Callum Heller and Lavelle.
Our event 19 medal presentations, our men's 100-metre freestyle. In third position with the bronze, Callum Heller and Lavelle from Nuttawading. With the silver, Lachlan Jackett-Simpson from Propulsion. And winning the gold medal, James Ward from Caulfield with a time of 48.64. Congratulations. Next up, we have event 20 with our finalists, the women's 100-metre breaststroke. In lane 0, Alicia Brownbill from Melton. In lane 1 from Melbourne, Grace Dolby. In 2 from SGB, Sophie McKenzie. In lane 3, Lucy Ma from MLC Aquatic. In 4, Alana Torrance, representing Nuttawading. In 5, from Ballarat Gold, Zoe Schneider. In 6, from Nuttawading, Kilia Enters. In lane 7, from Surrey Park, Farida Taha. In 8, from Yarra Plenty, Renee Lister. In lane 9, Tess Izzard from Yarra Plenty as well. And these are your finalists for event 20, the women's 100-metre breaststroke.
And we're off with the women's 100-metre breaststroke. Don't be fooled, this race will be over before you know it. Off to a great start. We have in lane 4, Alana Torrance. We've seen her a few times tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, there was certainly a bit of conversation over whether she would contest this plethora of events that she had on her program back this evening. But so far she has done it and done it in style. Once again, out leading this race. She's going to come into the halfway point with a solid lead ahead of Farida Taha over in lane 7. And it looks like Zoe Schneider in lane 5 will turn in third.
The race for second is incredibly tight in this race between lane 7, 5 and 3. But Alana is still out strong in lane 4, increasing her lead as she comes into the 75-metre mark of this race. With a gap of 1.5 seconds for a 100-metre race. That is huge.
So we still have our same leaders at the halfway mark, at the three-quarter turn, and out under the flags now. It is Alana Torrance who will take this one away, 108.43. Zoe Schneider finishes in second and Lucy Ma touches in third.
Now to our event medal presentation for event 20, our women's 100-metre breaststroke. With the bronze medal, Lucy Ma from MLC. In second position with the silver, Zoe Schneider from Ballarat Gold. And winning the gold medal is Alana Torrance from Nuttawading with a time of 1:08.43. Congratulations. And now to event 21, our finalists for the women's 50-metre backstroke. In lane 0 from Furbank, Sarah Cooper. From Caulfield in lane 1, Caitlin Ord. Representing Traralgon, Olivia Bailey. In 3 from Nuttawading, Alyssa Lever. In lane 4, Abby Kearney from Nuttawading. In 5, Jessie Steinman, also from Nuttawading. In 6, from Melbourne, Zara Olawani. In Essendon, in lane 7 from Essendon, Megan Lee. In 8, from Geelong, Nicole Briscoe. And in lane 9, Henrietta Pen Ching Wong from MLC.
Speedy starts from the girls in the 50-metre backstroke. Looking to the centre of the pool there, Abby Kearney. She took out the 200 tonight. Does she have speed on her hands for this 50? We come into that halfway point. Not a lot separating our lead 3. It will be Kearney out in first, 13.87, ahead of Zara Olawani and Jessie Steinman.
These girls are flying. The race is tight. Who is it going to be between lanes 4 and lane 6? And touching first, we do have Abby Kearney in a 27.92, just dipping under that 28 mark, which is incredible. And in second, we have Zara Olawani, and Lynn Lane in third position, Jessie Steinman.
Our medal presentations for event 21, our women's 50-metre backstroke. In third, with the bronze, Jessie Steinman from Nuttawading. Awarded the silver from Melbourne, Zara Olawani. And in first place, with the gold medal, Abby Kearney from Nuttawading. Awesome job, girls. Congratulations. We're at event 22 now, our finalists for our men's 400-metre IM. In lane 0 from Lilydale, Keenan Power. In lane 1, Callum Risotto from D5. In 2, Owen Williams-Polly from Nuttawading. Representing Ivanhoe in 3, Kakaru Zeno. In 4, one of our visitors from NASC, Oscar Kreutzberger. In lane 5 from Nuttawading, Joshua Carnes. In 6, Tyler Theodore from Caulfield. Representing Melbourne, Elson Lee in lane 7. In 8, Riley Hodgkins from DVE. And in lane 9 from Ivanhoe, Casey Kamaja. These are our finalists for our men's 400-metre IM.
In the water now, we have the men's 400-metre medley. This race is always so interesting because each swimmer is going to have their best and worst strokes, so you're going to see a constant switch throughout this entire race.
Leading us out in that first 25, also Oscar Krutzberger in lane 4, 12.1, but not a lot separating these boys. This first 100 really about setting up their race and trying to be as comfortable as possible because you know you have those next 3 100s afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a game of not going out too hard, but making sure that you can still maintain that easy speed that you get off that dive.
Now, we've mentioned it a few times tonight, but the consistency of those underwaters and skills is really going to be showcased and hopefully utilised by the athletes within this 400-metre IM. You have so many different turns and skills that we can put on display and a lot of opportunities for athletes to make up time if they just nail those turns, nail those finishes between each of our strokes.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of turns, Oscar Krutzberger has an awesome turn off that fly to back, pushing his underweighters past the 10-metre mark and just extending that lead that he has over the rest of the field.
I'm really enjoying watching Kakeru Zeno in lane 3. He's starting to move his way through this backstroke, coming right up alongside Oscar and choosing to stay under the water just that little bit longer, gets those few extra dolphin kicks, a little bit more depth off the turn and makes up ground on each of those underwaters.
Also making a move in this backstroke leg is Josh Carnes in lane 5. He's moved throughout the field into third as we come into this last wall of the backstroke leg of this race.
Yeah, Josh really knows how to put together a great 200-metre individual form stroke event. So we know he's going to have the legs to come home here in this 400 IM, particularly this backstroke. He's really started to shift gears here, and he'll be the one turning in third. So around at that halfway point, Oscar Krutzberger leads us, Kakeru Zeno in second, and Joshua Khan sitting in third.
Now we can see these breaststrokers starting to come through. We can see
our leaders almost extending that lead through this breaststroke. Obviously quite a strength for Oscar Krutzberger. He's reclaimed quite a dominant half body length on Kakeru. Also having a fantastic breaststroke swim. Here is Elson Lee down in lane 7, the swimmer from Melbourne Swimming Club, just shifting his way up in front of Joshua Carnes.
yes, and that gap is getting tighter and tighter between Oscar and Kakeru, coming into the final wall of this breaststroke leg, with Kakeru actually making a switch for the lead. And he's come up nearly half a body length in front off that final wall.
You're 100% correct there, Abby. That was all in the underwater element, that split stroke of the breaststroke. Such a great opportunity. He's really capitalised on that as they now turn for home. We've just got the 100-metre freestyle left to swim. Kakeru out in the lead now quite substantially. We tend to see that lead almost double from breaststroke into freestyle. Sitting in second will be Oscar Krutzberger and Elson Lee in third.
Yes, Kakeru is having such a dominating swim coming into this freestyle leg. He has got such an efficient stroke in a time where his legs are burning and his arms are hurting.
I think our leaders might have this one pretty secure. They've got about a 5-metre gap on the bronze medal, but it's looking like it's going to be a race all the way through to the finish here. Oscar Krutzberger has clawed up that lead gained after the breaststroke by Kakeru, and there is only 0.4 separating them. Another good underwater. What a close race this is going to be. Don't blink because you're going to miss this finish. It's going to be stroke for stroke down under the flags. Kakeru might have it. 4:22.77 ahead of Oscar. 4:22.86 with Elson in third. 4:28.31. What a race for a 400 IM.
Medal presentations for event 22, our men's 400 metre IM. With the bronze in third position, Elson Lee from Melbourne. In second from NASC, Oscar Kreutzberger. And winning the gold by 0.9 of a second, Kakaruzetto from Ivanhoe. Congratulations with that time of 4:22.77. Event 23, our finalists for the women's 50 metre breaststroke multi-class. In lane 0, Madeline Fox, SB 18 from Ivanhoe Swim. In lane 1, from Propulsion, Scarlett Morgan, SB 19. In 2, Anna Layton, SB 14 from Ballarat Gold. In lane 3, Meg Conhetty from Geelong, SB 19. In lane 4, one of our visitors from Japan, Minami Kubu, SB 15. Another one of our visitors from Albury, Mia Hogan, SB 13. In 6, from Propulsion, Jessica McDermott. In 7, from MLC, Ruby Halliday, SB 7. And in 8, Amber Stelling, SB 7 from Caulfield. These are our finalists for event 21-23, the women's 50 metre breaststroke multi-class.
Alrighty, here we go. Event 23, the 50 breaststroke multi-class is underway here. And it's a really strong start there from the Japanese swimmer, I think Minami Kubo.
Super high stroke rate in her breaststroke as well. Great to see, perfect for these 50 metre events. We don't want to be sticking around as long on that glide phase, and she's getting straight into the next cycle. Sitting in second is Mia Hogan, and she's one of our young superstars. She's had a great night so far, picked up a few medals already, but it will be Minami who takes away this one, 34.05.
And coming in second there is Mia Hogan at 37.46, and in third place there, Meg Kanahidi. The fast final there in that one. And coming in now to the wall in lane 8 here is Amber Stelling. And on the far side over there, Madeline Fox.
Girls here looking to try and come back in this final tonight and secure a personal best, and we've seen a couple of those on the board.
Our medal presentation for event 23, our women's 50 metre breaststroke multi-class. Winning the bronze medal in third, Ruby Halliday from MLC. Awarded the silver, Mia Hogan from Albury, one of our visitors. And another one of our visitors from Japan, Minami Kubu, awarded the gold medal with a time of 34.05. Congratulations. As we now come up to event 24 tonight, our men's 50 metre breaststroke multi-class. Our finalists are, in lane 0, Aaron Skinner from Geelong Sharks, SB 14. In 1, from Oasis Otters, Calvin Tran, SB 14. In 2, Andrew Din from Oasis Otters, SB 19. In 3, from Northgate, Miles Parfitt, SB 19. In lane 4, from Nuttawading, Samuel Gregorix, SB 15. In lane 5, Dylan Logan, one of our visitors, SB 15 from Albany Creek. In lane 6, Benjamin Wills, SB 19 from Melton. In 7, from Camberwell, Mi Zing Pang, SB 14. In lane 8, Cooper Harrington, Yarra Plenty. And in lane 9, Ahmed Kelly, SB 3 from Yarra Plenty. These are our finalists for our men's 50-metre breaststroke multiclass.
All right, we've got the gang all back together here for the 50-metre breaststroke from multi-class. A lot of these athletes returning to the pool, some of them their third swim of the evening. Keep your eyes on lane 9, Ahmed Kali, multiple Paralympic swimmer. Great to have him racing tonight. 55.72 the time he's coming into this one with. Let's see if he can drop a little bit off his heat swim this morning, but taking us away nicely was Samuel Gredorex in lane 4.
See him really driving through with the hips. This is going to be a fast finish, 30.6. He has dropped well off what he went this morning there. It's a great swim. And in second place there, Miles Parfitt. And in third place there was Dylan Logan. These boys have had a heavy program tonight with multiple swims and multiple finals. And so it's great to see them getting up and still hitting those fast times, even after swimming 3 or 4 finals.
And multiple medals for quite a lot of these athletes. Incredible performances all around.
Medal presentations for event 24, our men's 50-metre breaststroke multiclass. Winning the bronze medal, Dylan Logan, one of our visitors from Albany Creek. Awarded the silver in second, Ahmed Kelly from Yarra Plenty. And with the gold, Samuel Gregorix from Nuttawading with a time of 30.65. Congratulations, great performances. And now to event 25, our women's 200-metre butterfly. Our finalists are in lane 0, Jemima Hale from Ivanhoe. In 1, from Melton, Chloe Burke. In lane 2, Rihanna Chen from DVE. In 3, from Surrey Park, Judy Hassan Aman. In lane 4, representing Caulfield, Mia Yao. In 5, Isabella Osborne from MLC Aquatic. In 6, with Nuttawading, Dakota Mathers. In 7, representing Melton, Layla Mahfouz. In lane 8, we have Mia Bates from Caulfield. And in 9, from Ivanhoe, Millie Charlton. These are our finalists for our event 25, our women's 200-metre butterfly.
Alrighty, in a race not for the faint-hearted, the women's 200 butterfly. We always love seeing our athletes get up and do a 200 fly. This one can hurt a fair bit, so it's great to see these girls get up and have a crack at this, and it should be a good one.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those tougher events on the program. Taking us around at the 25-metre turn was Mia Yeo. We've seen her do some incredible underwaters across the competition. Izzy Osborne swimming out of lane 5. Super talented youngsters there. They're going to lead us through at that 50-metre turn.
It's great to see those two girls there attacking that first 50, both out under the 30. And it's going to be a race between those two. You think Isabella Osborne and Mia Yeo have called their names a fair bit over the years in the 200 butterfly.
Yeah, they've had such a great rivalry within this event as well, and we love to see that competitiveness come out and showcase in our final event. Mia's just really doing a great job of those underwaters here and continuing to hold off Izzy each time she comes out of those turns.
Yeah, it's a great point you raised that their speed across the top of the water is pretty similar. It just seems at this stage that Mia is holding that underwater just fractionally better and getting a little bit more distance.
So the Golden Lane's out in the lead, battling it off for that first and second. That third place spot, though, certainly still up in the air. Dakota Mathers currently sits there, but Judy Hussein Aman starting to shift through this field a little bit. Mia Bates out in lane 8, also having a really solid swim. She's not too far behind either.
Great to see Mia and Isabella there, still getting that 5 or 6 kicks off the wall, clearing those flags easily, still getting 7 or 8 metres. Just shows how good their skills are under fatigue, under pressure, in short course, and they're coming into this 150-metre mark now.
Yeah, this is a sweet feeling if you're in these 200 fly races, turning with 50 metres left to swim, and that gap between Mia Yeo and Izzy Osborne certainly has closed in that third 50. There wasn't much separating them on the turn. As we come into the final 25, it was a solid lap there by Dakota Mathers as well. She's sitting in third with Rihanna Chen shifting her way into fourth.
And it looks like Mia is going to hang on from start to finish. She led from that first 25 and she's kept that distance of half a body length all the way through, puts the head down, and on that finish, it's a good time. So 2:13.5, I should say. In second place, Isabella Osborne in a 2:14.4. And in third place there, Dakota Mathers in a 2:16.0.
And the medal presentations for event 25, our women's 200-metre butterfly. In third, winning the bronze medal, Dakota Mathers from Nuttawading. In silver, Isabella Osborne from MLC Aquatic. And winning the gold medal, Mia Yao from Caulfield in a time of 2:13.53. Congratulations. We now have event 26, our men's 50-metre breaststroke. Our finalists are, in lane 0, Damien Lane from M1. In 1 from Traralgon, Ashley Nichols. Representing Caulfield in lane 2, Jacob Nimmo. In lane 3 from Nuttawading, Callum Halloran Lavelle. In lane 4, representing Caulfield, Daniel Cave. In lane 5 from Nuttawading, Lachlan Chan. In lane 6, Karen Fernandez from M1. In lane 7 from Caulfield, Nicholas Stubas. In lane 8, Alan Ling from CGGS. Representing Shepparton in lane 9, Brendan Wilson. And those are our finalists for the men's 50-metre breaststroke.
Alrighty, 50 breaststroke. This one will be over pretty fast here, Carly. I expect these boys to just get up and rip it.
And certainly doing that was Callum Heller and Laval over in lane 3. He had the best of the starts, and he looks like he's going to lead us through onto that turn. 12.71 ahead of Daniel Cave, 12.86.
Oh, it's a great split stroke and breakout there from Callum Heller and Laval. He's coming to the wall now. Cavey's catching him on the speed into the wall. All about the touch. Oh.
And it will be Callum. He'll
Just
take that one out. Timed that finish just a little better there onto the wall. 27.73 ahead of Daniel Cave, 27.81, and Lockie Chan, 28.22.
And our event presentation for event 26, the men's 50-metre breaststroke. With the bronze medal, Lachlan Chan from Nuttawading. In the silver, we have Daniel Cave from Caulfield. And winning the gold medal from Nuttawading, Callum Heller and Laval with a time of 27.73. And now we have event 27, the mixed 75-metre IM multiclass. Our finalists in lane 4, Ahmed Kelly, SM3 from Yarra Plenty.
And away we go now. Ahmed Kelly hitting the water for his 75-metre medley for our multi-class athletes. This event is one we don't get to see very often, but certainly a privilege. One of Ahmed's best races on the international stage as he comes down in this backstroke leg. The time on the turn, 26.94, into his favourite of the strokes, and it's the breaststroke next.
Yeah, absolutely, Kalia. Now, Ahmed is no stranger to high-pressure racing. He has been on many Australian, Paralympic and World Championship teams representing the country.
Maintaining that nice, beautiful, almost streamlined position at the conclusion of each of his breaststroke strokes here. He turns now with 25 metres left to swim in a 56.75.
In a race like this, it's about you versus yourself. So Ahmed is going to try and come in under his entry time of 1:23.24. And we're going to see him come in under the flags, and he is going to come in a 1:24.66. Just over his entry time, but a fabulous swim nonetheless.
And for event 27, the mixed 75-meter IM multi-class, it was all Ahmed Kali. He has come in first position with the gold medal from Yarra Plenty with that time of 1:24.66. Awesome job, Ahmed. And now we have event 28, the women's 100-meter IM multi-class. In lane 0, we have Phoebe Edwards, SM14 from Monbulk. In 1, Lisa Bale, SM19, representing Warrnambool. From Geelong in lane 2, Evie Lee, SM19. Also from Geelong, we have Meg Conhetty, SM19. One of our visitors from Japan in lane 4, Akuna Nagashiki. In lane 5, also from Japan, SM15, Manami Kubu. In lane 6, from Western Aquatic, Alison Feely, SM19. In lane 7, representing Propulsion, Jessica McDermott. In lane number 8, from MLC Aquatic, Ruby Halliday, SM8. And in lane 9, with Ivanhoe Swim, Madeline Fox, SM18. Those are our finalists for the women's 100-meter IM multi-class.
And we're off and away with the 100-meter medley women's multi-class. That is 25 meters of each stroke. Off to a flying start, we have our middle lanes. We have our girls from Japan, Kuba and Naka Higashi.
And what a night these girls have had. Truly, the Japanese team doing incredibly well across this program. And it is Akuha and Manami who are going to take out the lead at the turn. 2 laps left to swim. 31.29, 31.52. Turning in third, there was Meg Canetti in a 34.64 with Alison Feely in fourth.
And remembering that this is a multi-class event, so just because these girls might have the touching placings, at the end of the day it comes out to who has the highest point score in relativity to the world record.
Yeah, we have quite a few of these girls sitting at that same medley classification of an SM19. So we know that that will be direct competition. Whichever of those athletes touches the wall will have the highest point score. But there are a few other classifications in the mix as well, so we will eagerly await those points. What a race that was from the girls, though, right down to the finish there. Akuha 108.15 ahead of Manami 108.63, and onto the wall in third was Meg 116.46. We'll see if we can get any more of our medalists onto the wall here. Ruby Halliday touching there in a 137.22. She's certainly picked up a few to add to her collection this evening. And Maddie Fox now making her way down this final 10 metres left to swim in the 100 IM for women's multi-class.
Our medal presentation for event 28, the women's 100-metre IM multiclass. In third with the bronze medal, Ruby Halliday from MLC Aquatic. Second with the silver, one of our visitors, Hanami Kubu from Japan. And in first with the gold, also from Japan, and one of our visitors, Akuha Nakahashiki. Congratulations for that time of 1:08.15. Up next is event 30 with our finalists for the women's 200-metre freestyle. In lane 0, Lucy Doyle from Nuttawading. In lane 1, Madison Cooper from Melbourne. In lane 2 from Melton, Manar Mahfouz. Lane 3, Kira Jeffs from Nuttawading. In 4, representing Caulfield, Zali Schneiders. In 5, Surrey Park, Arika Ndego. In lane 6 from Caulfield, Arabella Tomlinson. In 7 from Nuttawading, Madison Brand. In lane 8 from Surrey Park, Brianna Burgess. And in lane 9 from Caulfield, Jen Lane. These are our finalists for the women's 200-metre freestyle.
All right, this should be a cracking race, the women's 200 freestyle. What a young field we have. Kira, Zali, Arika, all between the ages of 14 and 15 in the middle of the pool. Great to see our younger athletes pushing up into these open finals and being the fastest qualifiers.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of which, we have Arabella turning in first off that first 25 into 13:27. What a great way to lead this race.
So it looks like the middle of the pool there, it is Zali Schneider's out to 28.1, so she's attacking that first 50, and closer behind her was Arabella Tomlinson.
Yeah, these girls are really taking out this race quite hard, which is awesome to see. Let's see if they can hold on as they come in, especially coming into this 100 metres.
Yeah, when we're moving through now, coming up to this 100-metre mark, moving into that all-important third 50 here, Zali Schneiders is starting to increase her lead. Kira Jeff's having a really good second 50 here, and she moves herself up into third position.
Yeah, some beautiful underwaters from these girls. It's incredible to see that they're still maintaining those kicks off the wall, especially coming into the harder parts of this race where that lactic is building and the legs are hurting.
So Zali's now really starting to push her way here in his third 50. Still sitting in second is Arabella. Kira sitting in third. And over the far side, the Madison Cooper and Maynard Mahfouz having a really good third 50 as well. But it's all eyes on the middle lane here, which is Zali Schneiders as she turns for home now with 50 to go.
Yeah, Zali has put together an awesome race. She's got an entry time of 2:02.22. Let's see if she can dip under that as she comes into this last turn, putting in all the afterburners, getting that stroke rate up, getting those kicks up, getting that head down, coming into the wall.
And this is going to be a really fast time now. She's coming in, head down to the flag. Does she go under the 2 minutes or be just on it? 2:00.52. That's a great swim. Touching in second is Kira Jeff. She came home really strong, and in third place there is Arabella Tomlinson.
And to our event presentation of event 30, our women's 200-metre freestyle. In third with the bronze, Arabella Tomlinson from Caulfield. Awarded the silver, Kira Jeffs from Nuttawading. And winning the gold from Caulfield, Zali Schneiders with a time of 2:00.52. Congratulations to our winners as we now move to event 29, our finalists for the men's 100-metre IM multiclass. In lane 0, Ahmed Kelly, SM30, SM3 from Yarra Plenty. In 1, Aaron Skinner, SM14, Geelong Sharks. In 2, Andrew Din, SM19, from Oasis Otters. In 3, representing Melbourne, James Logan, SM15. In 4, from Nuttawading, Samuel Gretorix, SM15. In 5, from Melton, Benjamin Wills, SM19. In 6, Hamish Keenan from Propulsion, SM9. Lane 7, Calvin Tran, SM14 from Oasis Otters. And in Lane 8, David Bale, SM8 from Wodonga City. Those are our finalists for our men's 100 metre IM multiclass.
Alrighty, and the men's 100 IM short course here is underway. And some familiar names again. These boys have had a massive night. Could be their 5th or 6th individual final here. And Sam is out very fast again there in lane 4. He's had a couple of great swims in the breaststroke and freestyle so far.
Absolutely. He's been a headline for us this evening, and he is going to touch in this halfway in a 27.37 coming into this breaststroke leg of the 100 IM.
Now into the all-important third 25 of the breaststroke, which can make and break a race often. And James Logan having a good breaststroke leg over there as well. And next to him, Andrew Ding pushing alongside him. And in the middle of the pool, Benjamin Wills starting to push through in this breaststroke. And Sam turns for home here in his freestyle, and he's going to throw down a very fast time. His breaststroke time before was great. Let's see if he does the same thing here in his freestyle.
Yeah, and he's going to come in just above the 1 minute mark at 1:0041. And our next in, we have lane 2, James Logan with an awesome swim with a 1:09.95, who's just gone under that 1:10 mark.
And Ahmed Kelly just swimming the 75 metre race IM multiclass before, that's probably about 10 minutes ago. So quick turnaround for him as he moves into his third lap. So he's done a great job to back up straight away again.
Yeah, absolutely. Having this many events in one night is pretty brutal. It's important to making sure that these athletes are doing their cool down, getting in a bit of nutrients in between these races to make sure that they can get up and racing each time.
And Ahmed turns for home now, as we're saying, just racing just 10 minutes ago to get up and go again is pretty impressive. And he's coming now down with 15 metres to swim.
Such a world-class performer Ahmed is. It's always great to see him race. Now he's going to come in under the flags, trying to beat his entry time of 2:11.62. And he touches in a 2:14.59.
And our medal presentation for event 29, our men's 100 metre IM multiclass. In third with the bronze, James Logan from Melbourne. Taking out the silver, Samuel Gretorix from Nuttawading. And the gold medal comes to Ahmed Kelly from Yarra Plenty Waves with a time of 2:14.59. Big congratulations, some great performances that we've seen in that race. Now we go to event 31, our men's 1500 metre freestyle. Our finalist Finalists in lane 3, Connor Hayes from Surrey Park. In lane 4, Harry Hay from MLC. In 5, from Nuttawanning, Joshua Carnes. In 6, representing Surrey Park, Jesse Phillips. And in 7, from Ballarat Gold, Marley Sutherland. These are our finalists for our event 31, men's 1500 metre freestyle.
Well, if distance is your thing, we've got it coming up here at 31, the 1500 freestyle short course. If you love watching tumble turns, this is the event to watch. You'll see a lot of turns here, and you'll get many more of them to come here. So 25 metres in, and it looks leading us through, it will be Harry Hay. They're in lane 4.
Yeah, speaking of long races, if you can see at the opposite end of the pool, they have lap counters, and right now it says 57. I don't know about you, but that's an awful number of laps.
Yeah, I'd definitely need a lap counter for a 1500 short course. There's no way I'd be able to remember how many laps I've done. I'd probably count in hundreds, but even then I might get a little bit confused. As I get tired, I'd probably forget a little bit. So you may see these swimmers occasionally take a sneaky breath upwards and just check out how many laps to go.
Yeah, absolutely. There are many ways that you can swim this 1500. As Tim said before, if you're brave, you can break it up into 15100s. But what a lot of swimmers will be thinking about is doing this in 3 500s and setting out the first one as nice and controlled, building through that middle to last 500 and going all out towards the very end of this race. So we're still in this early stages, which is still setting up the race, making sure that their stroke is solidified for these next 15 minutes of pain.
Exactly right. You want to be still in a 1500, getting out quick enough so you're not falling behind the pace, and you also don't want to let someone get out too far in front, because while you think you've got a lot of room to catch someone in or reel them in, it is harder than it looks to catch up and make multiple distance metres over a short course race, because that turn breaks up the race so much. If you've got someone who's in front of you who is getting that extra half a metre off every turn, it really does add up.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of which, it looks like Harry Hay is doing exactly that. We're only about 200 metres into this race, and he has already established a dominant lead over this field.
He is. You can see he's got a pretty high stroke rate there, but really low kicking. He's just sitting on that stroke, keeping the legs light, keeping the heart rate down, using those arms, so he's not using as much oxygen at this stage. And what we'll start to see is probably in that second 500 and third 500, he'll start to bring those legs in a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Now behind Harry, we have Josh Carnes and Jesse Phillips. They are in a pretty tight contention for second and third. And it will be great to see throughout this race whether these boys can challenge each other to even try and catch our leader.
And for those who don't know, if you know the coach Ian Pope, who's on pool deck, he also plays in a band. So if you do get a chance, make sure you check out Brave World. They're a fantastic rock band from the 80s. He has some classic hits that he does play sometimes. So if you do see Ian Pope on pool deck, make sure you ask him about his band and ask him to drop a CD or a couple of hits on his new album that's coming out. I think he's got a concert coming up in Japan. So while he's a great coach, he's also pretty versatile in the rock scene. So Harry Hay here is looking really strong in the middle of the pool here, coming up to the 350 metre mark, and he's kept on that stroke, turning in a 15.5 in this 25. He's maintained that speed throughout each 25 here, being really consistent. And his goal now would be keep that stroke count the same, keep that stroke rate the same, and try and hold the same time throughout this 500.
Yeah, absolutely. And just coming back to the second part of our race, we're seeing an even tighter race between lane 6 and lane 5 between Jesse and Joshua as they're coming into this race. trying to push each other stroke for stroke.
It's good for these boys to all be grouped together here. They can pace off each other and just try and push each other all the way through. It's always good to have someone alongside you. It's really hard to swim the 1500 if you're out by yourself, if you're in a far lane and you can't see where the other swimmers are, because you can't really gauge what time you're going. And in the 1500, if you're just a little bit off and you're only going a second slower per 50, it adds up to being a PB plus 30, which it sounds a lot, but in reality, it's actually not as bad as what we think.
Yeah, absolutely. In distance races like these, it's very easy and also very common to see big drops in time, but also big additions in time.
So Josh Carnes is just holding off Jesse and Marley at this stage by about half a body length, and Marley just sitting back from Jesse by about half a body length. So those three boys are just grouped really well together, pacing with each other. And those legs are still pretty light here for Harry Hay in the middle of the pool. You can see he hasn't really brought those legs in at all yet, which is a great sign for what's to come. So he comes into this 500-metre mark, as you were saying before, Abby, that's that first block done. Now he comes into that second block.
Yeah. It almost actually looks like Marley in lane 7 is swimming very close to the lane rope, specifically the one that he shares with Jesse, almost as if he's trying to catch a little bit of that draft off his swimming. Now, it could be that this could help, or it is a little bit of a psychological help to just know that you are hanging on someone's hips and that you could be helping and be benefiting from their resistance.
We'll make note too there, just looking at Harry's splits, he's gone 15-5, 15-6, 15-8, 15-7, so he's been super consistent here at holding that pace and rate throughout these 25s. And there you go, turns at a 15-5. So he's really holding it as he's coming up now to the 600-metre mark. Now, Carly, if you were doing a 1500, would you breathe 3s, 2s? What would your game plan be?
I was definitely someone who had a much preferred side to breathe, so I breathed every second stroke. But I think it often depends what you've kind of been brought up doing. A lot of these athletes might have started out breathing every third stroke, so they're quite comfortable and confident to breathe either side. And I know a lot of people like to have that sight across the pool each way. If you do breathe every second stroke, though, you have to consider in a short course pool, each lap you're swapping the way you're looking anyway, so you do get that idea and concept of where everyone else is. And we know how important having those oxygen stores are within this race, particularly with so many turns. It becomes a more hypoxic event than when you swim at long course.
It definitely does. Well, saying before, it's really important, even though it's a 1500, that off that turn, you still hold that glide. You hold it momentarily. You still just try and get that kick, get out just past those flags. You're not going to be going 8, 9 metres, but you're going to be going 6, 7. If you can hold that consistently, get your tight streamline, it's a free turn. You use that momentum then to carry into that next lap.
Absolutely. That free speed is what we really talk about, in particular, the power you're getting off the wall. If you can maintain a great streamline, you're just going to be making it almost to the flags already without having to utilise the legs on those dolphin kicks. We do know that the biggest muscles in our body are in those legs, so we don't want them consuming our oxygen, particularly if you're going to be doing multiple kicks. Most athletes will probably go maybe 2 or 3. That tends to be about the average. If you are better at those underwaters and maintaining, maybe up to 5, but we don't tend to see too many swimmers choosing to go more than that.
Definitely not. And I think too, when you bring those legs in, you don't want to let that heart rate spike. What's really interesting though is a lot of longer distance athletes now will train themselves to be able to pick up the speed occasionally in a 50 or a 25 to just generate a bit more speed to catch up to someone, which will spike the heart rate. So these guys often in training may be doing long distance sets, but there is still some speed element in it throughout, so they do learn to spike the heart rate and have to come up and then come back down to control.
Oh, truly, and particularly if you're racing right alongside someone else, it is nice to have that ability that you can spike it off one turn or 125 and pull away, and just you can almost break someone's spirit a little bit, and that might be enough to get you across the line. If you can just pull away that little bit earlier in the race, you dishearten the other athletes, and then you've got that little bit of an advantage. We also do tend to see those last 100 or 200 metres, they can come right down to a sprint all the way to the wall, particularly these 1500-metre events. I've often spoken about how I get my athletes to race a little bit different to that stereotypical break it down into 3 500s. I like putting it towards a 3 400s event and then finishing off with 3 100s descend. And that's kind of a set that we might do in training as well to replicate this.
with swimmers in this event too, they're going to be doing a lot more distance work, aren't they? On short rest, longer distance, less speed, but more about maintaining a heart rate at a lower heart rate compared to those sprinters where the heart rate's going up above 200.
We've certainly seen that spike and that peak in the sprint revolution with the introduction of the 50s into the Olympics now. And I think it really kind of certifies that there is such a difference in these events and the way we approach them. So your sprint athletes, they're going to be long rest, high intensity, and high quality, lots of gym work. Our endurance athletes, we don't want to be carrying that muscle as much, so we're doing a lot more repetitions, a lot more aerobics, hitting those heart rates into that A1, A2 zone quite more frequently, and that's a lot of the differences. They're going to be also ticking away a few extra kilometres each week as well.
Definitely, and you see these guys too, what they call that hip-driven stroke, so they're going to really sit back on the stroke, use that hip, that little flick with that kick, really light kick, just to help generate momentum, and they'll breathe on that arm as it enters, rather than that real shoulder-driven sprint style where it's a lot shorter and a lot faster rate.
Even within these endurance races, you can have sort of almost two styles as well. So we see that more traditional stroke. If you watch kind of Jesse Phillips here, he's got that really high elbow, particularly on the left arm, and continuing that same speed throughout. Then you can look at some of the other swimmers in the field. There's a lot more going on with the stroke rate, getting that higher stroke rate, and they're really, really soft on the legs. In particular, you see athletes who do a lot more of that open water style of swimming. They're really going to be light on the feet. All they're doing is enough to maintain their body position at the surface of the water, so we're not dragging along.
I think too now we're seeing a lot more in the 200, 400, even 800, that hybrid stroke of that one arm is almost a hip-driven stroke and one arm is a sprint-style shoulder-driven stroke. So it's almost like one arm long, one arm short, and it's almost like a gallop. And you'll see the swimmers almost gallop across the water. And
we're seeing that across a lot of events now. It used to be in particular a 200-metre style sort of technique, and we're seeing our 100-metre swimmers start to pick it up as well as our 4s and our 8s, and even across some of these longer events, particularly if you're a bit more dominant to one side, you tend to see those athletes, they do that two-stroke breath, so they can sit on one arm a little bit more and then reconnect with the water. As we just check in, we've just gone past that 1,000-metre mark, so we're on the downhill of this race now. It's a nice feeling, that final 500 metres. Harry Hayes still out in front quite nicely, and he's just starting to overtake some of the other members of the field here, which is really good. I've seen Joshua Carnes try and pick up his pace, so he's not getting that overtake, but it's going to be able to push them both along for a little bit longer within this race.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Carly. You can see two of these boys just starting to bring the legs in a little bit more now. So each 50, they're just going to keep increasing the legs, keep driving that speed. Question for you, two of these athletes is, if they're in a relay after this, would you let them go cool down, or they just have to stand behind the blocks and get ready for the next one? Because I think some of these boys will have to get up for a relay shortly.
It's certainly going to be a pretty challenging turnover between a 1,500 and then a 100. If they do choose to get out and they are in the next event precisely and don't get that swim down in, that second 50 is going to absolutely burn in the legs. And even in the lungs, it's going to be quite a struggle. I would be trying to get any swim down I possibly could in between now and the next event.
I'd get into the old survival backstroke mode. Lie over in the aquaplay lane and just roll my arms over backwards.
It's also interesting to note, a lot of people think these longer events, you might not need quite as much of a swim down, but you really do need to try and clear any lactic acid, particularly if we watch in those last 100s. As you said before, Tim, we do increase the speed, and there's almost that extra step on the ladder where we're trying to pick up pace and really lift, and that's really going to burn as well.
It certainly is. In terms of training for these boys, what's their heart rate range that you'd be wanting them to hold in training? Let's say they're doing a 15 100s set in training, or 8 200s in training. What sort of heart rate would you be looking for them to try and hold and be consistent with?
I think the goal for most of our athletes is whenever you do those sets where you repeat, it's not necessarily about the first time you do it, what the heart rate is, but every time you do it, being able to hit the times that you want and lower the heart rate, so it becomes easier to hold those times.
And get into that plateau and,
Yeah, we don't want to be setting our swimmers off and they're hitting a 180 plus heart rate on the first one and then just sitting in that threshold zone for too long. You want it to be an aerobic session. You want to be getting out of it. The easier and the more efficient they can make holding these times within a training pool, the better and the more longevity they're going to have within this sport as well.
It's interesting to say it too, because I think a lot of athletes may make the mistake sometimes of in training going too fast in recovery parts, where you actually do want to get your heart rate lower, so you're working in a lower aerobic region. Because if you're working hard in the parts that are easy, it means that when you actually do the harder parts, your heart rate's already elevated too high for where you actually want to be working in. So you're not actually going to be working the element of the race that you want to be doing. So for these distance swimmers, it's actually really important that when it's time to go slow, they still actually go slow.
Train smarter, not harder. As
true,
Harry Hay now turns for that final 100 metres. He's got 4 laps to go. He's done such a great job of leading for a majority of this race. I think he's just about to overtake the last swimmer in the field as well. So he's now taken over everyone else in this race. This has been a very dominant performance for him.
It's been a great swim. Did you see off that last turn there too? He's still getting past the flag. Even this late in the race, he's really held it together. He comes into his last 50 now. He still does that little kick. Up he gets. The legs are in it now. Whatever he's got left, it's all into this last 50.
Exactly. I don't think it matters what swimmer you are, how much it hurts. You're always going to be able to lift that little bit more once you hear that bell. It is quite a sweet sound, particularly at a short course, 1500.
I think it'd be one of the best feelings in the world for these swimmers, and I think for Harry Hay, he'll be very relieved when he touches the wall here. This is going to be a great time too. He's going to come in 15:36. This is pretty much been done by himself. He hasn't had anyone really around him to push him. The closest is going to be Jesse over here, who's 3 lanes away, who's coming into his last turn now as well, which is going to be a really good swim by him. He's been able to break away from the rest of this field. These boys are now coming into their last turn. So Jesse on his last turn now.
Jesse coming down for that home straight, and between Joshua Carnes and Marley Sutherland, there's not a lot between them, fighting off for that bronze medal, but it will be Jesse who finishes off with the silver here. The time there, 16:10.26.
And we've got a good battle on here for third. It's going to see you're going to get to it. And finishing really strong is Marley, but it looks like Josh has just touched him out by 0.03.
That is a tough result at the end of a 1500, but it was a great swim and a great performance as well. If we look at Marley's entry time, 16:43, absolutely smashed that one out of the pool. So incredible effort from all our boys here in the 1500 metre race.
And the medal presentation for event 31, our men's 1500 metre freestyle. In third with the bronze medal, Joshua Carnes from Nuttawading. The silver medal goes to Jesse Phillips from Surrey Park. And in first, winning the gold medal for our 1500 from MLC, we have Harry Hay. They took away his name.
Away we go now with event 32. This is the women's 400-metre medley relay. We have 2 timed finals in this event this evening. In the water now, time final number 1, and blanket start across that field early on here.
Yeah, now this is the most exciting part of the night. Relays are always a hit amongst the swimmers. It's a chance to race with your friends and really show that true club camaraderie.
A little bit harder to pace in these 100-metre relays. I've always found that excitement can almost take over. You want to get a great start for your team, so we look to see who can hold on throughout this second 50 of each leg. Leading us through at that 50-metre turn was the team in lane 5 from Propulsion, followed by Warrnambool and then Yarra Plenty. And they're going to maintain those top 3 spots now as we get ready to transfer into our breaststroke swimmer.
Yes, we can see our second leg swimmers getting up on the blocks, putting their hands out, trying to time their dives so that they make contact and making sure that they don't have a false dive.
Yeah, you can certainly make up a lot of ground. It's a great opportunity, that flying start. You get a little bit of extra momentum off the block, and if you can time it to perfection, it's a great chance for you to get your team out in front, even if you may have come into the wall behind. Leading us through at that turn there was the team in lane 4 from Yarra Plenty, and still sitting in second is Propulsion with Warrnambool hot on their heels.
Yes, it's tight between our middle 3, 4, 5 lanes as they are touching at the halfway mark of this leg. But just coming off really nicely off that wall is lane 4, Yarra Plenty, having an awesome split stroke, really pulling away from the field.
Yeah, I like the way Renee started that first 50 with that little bit extra length on her stroke, and she's almost built that stroke rate down this third 25. You don't want to rate too high in these 100-metre breaststroke events and start to spin the wheels and not hold on to that water. So she's doing a great job of that to really extend the lead for the team from Yarra Plenty.
Yes, and she's coming under the last few metres of this race, and she has handed over to the butterfly leg with an awesome lead of about 3.8 seconds on the next swimmer.
Yeah, very solid, little bit of a head start coming into the butterfly swimmers. Now, if we look at our entry times, there was only a second separating Yarra Plenty and Propulsion. A little bit of work to do by that team in lane 5 if they want to make up this gap.
And what a powerful swim this has been, maintaining that lead. But coming in and chasing, we still have lane 5 Propulsion, making up some ground on our middle lane.
Yeah, this is quite a nice swim from the Propulsion team in lane 5. They do look to have closed that gap a little bit, going down to now 2 seconds.
Now, will it be enough for Yarra Plenty to hold off on Propulsion as they're getting into this last changeover, coming into the freestyle leg? This is where everything is going to come together. This is where we have our last fresh swimmers coming in to battle it until the very, very end.
The girls out in front here flying through this first 25 of freestyle. You can see that big 6-beat kick brought in. Our Warrnambool team also looking pretty good down the first 25. With 50 metres left to swim now. There is only 1.4 seconds between our 2 lead teams, and that gap might be closing ever so slightly down this third 25 as well.
Yeah, Propulsion is hot on Yarra Plenty's heels, chasing and chasing, getting closer. Coming off this wall right at the feet. Is it enough for Yarra Plenty to hold on to this race? I think it just might be. This has been an excellent swim from the Yarra Plenty girls, finishing this race in a 4:32.51, shortly holding off Propulsion in a 4:33.57, and finally in third we have our Warrnambool team with a 4:41.02.
This is your final of the women's 400-metre medley relay in lane 0, Surrey Park B, lane 1, Melton, lane 2, MLC Aquatic, lane 3, Melbourne, lane 4, Caulfield, lane 5, Nunawading, lane 6, Nunawading B, lane 7, Surrey Park, lane 8, Melbourne B, and lane 9, Propulsion.
And off in the lead, we have Nunawading A in lane 5, who have come in at a 14.30 on the first 25 and have now tumbled in a 29.47, which is incredibly fast coming into this first 50 out of 100 for this medley relay.
Yeah, some strong backstroke swimmers within this field. Lane 5 from Nunawading out in the lead. Abby Kearney, we saw her take the win in the 200 back and the 50 tonight, so no surprise that she's got a pretty solid start for her team here.
And coming in on second, we have our team from Melbourne Aquatic, who've also touched in a 101.8. Now we are handing over into the breaststroke leg of this medley relay, and we are still seeing a dominant lead from Nunawading in lane 5.
Yeah, we saw an incredible gap made in our previous heat within this breaststroke, so we know this is an opportunity that you can kind of start running away with this relay, make it incredibly difficult for other teams to catch up. You can have quite an advantage if your butterfly swimmer hits the water with that little bit of a lead. As we turn there, it is still Nunawading out in front ahead of Melbourne and the Nunna B team in third.
Yes, and if I'm not mistaken, that is Alana Torrens swimming for Nunawading. She has had a stacked program tonight, so great to see her stepping up for one last race for the club.
Girls on the blocks now getting ready for this changeover into our third swimmer, and it will be the team in lane 5 from Nunawading who hit the water first. They've got a pretty solid advantage ahead of Melbourne in lane 3, and a lot of that field really closed up with absolutely nothing separating our teams between MLC, Nunawading B and Surrey Park into that third place spot.
Absolutely, that race for third is getting tight, and it's getting even tighter now as we progress through this second 25 of the butterfly leg of this race. Nunawading still ahead, touching in a 2:37.68 at this point. And closing in is MLC Aquatic, who have really charged past in this third 25 of the butterfly.
Yeah, Izzy Osborne now coming up alongside Zara Jeffrey. She's having a great swim, really putting it together well for her team. Nunawading, though, they are looking incredibly hard to beat at this point. They were the title winners from last year. Their time, 4:08.01. Their entry time tonight is coming in quite a bit faster than that. We'll see what they can put together with their final swimmer now in the water.
Yeah, Kira Chefs is off for Nunawading. She has made many appearances tonight, notably in the 200 freestyle, coming in second. But we are still seeing an incredibly tight race for that second place spot, still between Melbourne Swimming Club and MLC. They are going stroke for stroke coming into this last 50 of this relay.
It is very, very close for that silver medal spot. Looks like Brooke Miles might be just starting to pull away from Sienna Santolin in lane 2 from MLC, but great swims from both of those teams throughout the second half of this race. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, to catch our team who led from start to this final wall. Nunawading A, give it up for your girls. 4:09.88 will be Melbourne touching in second. 4:14.68 and MLC 4:17.86.
And for event 32, our women's 400-meter medley relay presentation. In third position, we have MLC A-Team with the bronze from MLC Aquatic. We have Melbourne's A-Team for the silver medal. And coming in first, winning the gold, is Nunawading's A-Team with a time of 4:09.88. Congratulations.
In the water now, we have event 33, the men's 400-meter medley relay. We have 2 timed finals for this event.
And as we hit that first wall from our time final number 1, it will be the team in lane 4 leading us around in a 13.61 Surrey Park. And they'll maintain that lead into the first 50 ahead of Propulsion, with M1 sitting in third.
This is still a very close race. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 boys all very close to each other in lanes 3 to 6. But pushing off at the 75-meter mark first, we still have Surrey Park.
Yeah, Alexander Hillman showcasing those beautiful underwaters throughout this 100 backstroke. But the other boys in lanes 5 and 6 from M1 and Propulsion touching at the exact same time. They had a great final 25, really came onto the wall with a lot of momentum. And that lead was really absolutely nothing as we changed over into our breaststroke swimmer.
Yeah, what an exciting race this is forming out to be. But looking to have a great split stroke, lane 5 from M1, really maintaining and building a slight gap on his competitors on either side of him.
So we've had a lead change. It is M1 now in the lead ahead of Surrey Park and Propulsion in third. Still those same teams, though, with a little bit of work to be done from CGGS over in lane 3 if they want to try and catch up to this lead pack. But they are making a little bit of ground up through this 25.
But wow, just how impressive those underwaters are from M1. The swimmer is gaining distance every time he pushes off the wall, which is going to be really critical as we're coming into the butterfly leg. Let's see if this next swimmer can hold on. Right now, there is a gap of about 4 seconds, and let's see how this shapes up throughout the race.
Nicely through that first 25 of butterfly for the boys there. Already look like they might be making a little bit of ground up on the 4-second lead led by M1 at the halfway mark. Into that turn, CGGS sitting in second with Surrey Park right behind them in third.
Yes, it does look like that gap is getting smaller and smaller with every wall. This is the last lap of the butterfly leg. Let's see what these boys from lane 3 and 4 can do. Can they catch our superstars from M1 who have had a ripper race?
A lot of focus on the blocks right now with our final athletes entering the water. Absolutely nothing separating our first 2 teams. M1 just held on to that lead ahead of CGGS with Surrey Park trying to close in now.
And wow, the atmosphere here is electric. The teams are cheering loud and proud for their teams. It is getting exciting. Lane 3 is coming and chasing after lane 5 with only 50 meters to go in this race. Who is going to touch the wall first?
These boys are absolutely motoring home with 25 meters left to swim. M1 only has about 0.3 of a gap ahead into the front ahead of CGGS. 10 meters left to go. They're trying to hold on, doing absolutely everything in their power. I think it might be enough. Taking out this first of our time finals will be M1 from lane 5, 3:56.69. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get loud in here. It's your final event of the evening. Our time final for event 33, the men's 400 medley relay in lane 0, Melbourne B, lane 1, Propulsion, lane 2, Caulfield B, lane 3, Melbourne A, lane 4, Caulfield A, lane 5, Nunawading, lane 6, MLC, lane 7, Surrey Park, lane 8, Nunawading B, and lane 9, Warrnambool.
Now, what a tight race we have. We have lanes 5, lane 6, even lane 4, all going head-to-head. It's hard to even pick a leader at this point in the race.
Last year, we saw the team from Caulfield come away with the win in this one, and they go in lane 4, but we've seen some spectacular swims from those Nunawading teams, and they're really putting together a solid first 100 here as they come into the flags, ready for our breaststroke swimmer to hit the water.
And it is going to be that Caulfield team who has touched first, but only by 1/100th of a millisecond is Nunawading. This race is intense. Going into the breaststroke legs, these boys are not letting each other go. Touching stroke for stroke, coming up right with each other.
There is an infraction report for event number 32, heat number 1, lane number 4. The disqualification comes from swimmer number 2's feet lost touch with the starting platform before the preceding teammate touched the wall. The infraction report is heat number 32, event number 32, heat number 1, lane 4. The swimmer number 2's feet lost touch with the starting platform before the preceding teammate touched the wall.
All right, so there is still hardly any distance between those two teams swimming out of lanes 4 and 5. Nunawading turned there in a 155 low with Caulfield 155 high. And we look to our butterfly swimmers to see who can run away with this one, give themselves the best lead coming into a freestyler.
Halfway in this butterfly leg, and it is still neck for neck, with a slight lead in favour of Nunawading, who had an awesome underwater, but it is still no man's race. The race for third is equally as tight between lanes 2 and lane 6. This will shape up to be quite the challenger.
Our final swimmers now ready to hit the water, and they were almost synchronized through the air on that changeover. The best of the underwaters going to the team in lane 5 from Nunawading. They're doing everything they can to hold off Caulfield. That race for the bronze medal also in full swing. It is our teams in lane 6 from MLC Aquatic, as well as lane 2, our Caulfield B team.
What a fast turn we have from lane 5, Nunawading. Just increasing his lead, creating some distance. It looks like he has hold on to the race, and he's coming to turn into the last 25s.
Less than half a body length separating these two boys, with Nunawading just edging ahead under the flags. It's going to be tight onto the wall, and what a superb final stroke from Caulfield. They looked behind, they've nailed the finish, taking the win in the last event of the evening. First place from lane 4, Caulfield Aquatic, 3:36.72, ahead of Nunawading, 3:36.78, and Propulsion out of nowhere in that final 25, picking up that bronze medal, 3:44.72. What an exciting way to finish tonight's racing, and an incredible night of finals we've had, Abby. Thank you guys so much for joining us for day 1 of our 2025-26 Victorian UNCLOUD State Open Short Course Championships. We look forward to welcome you guys all back in the morning for day 2.
There is an infraction report for event number 33, heat number 1, lane number 6. Initiated a start before the signal. That is an infraction report for heat